I am Maria Garcia de Fleury. Our Lady of the Angels, or the Virgin of the Angels, is one of the titles with which Catholics honor Mary, the Mother of Jesus. This title was generalized thanks to the Franciscan friars from the small church near Assisi called Porciuncula, which means small portion of land, that existed years before St. Francis was born. It was dedicated to St. Mary of the Angels, and St. Francis of Assisi chose it as his home because of his veneration for the angels and his special love for the Mother of Christ. After a life of superficiality, Francis, in his 20s, listened to the reading of the Gospel, definitely understood that his vocation was to renounce the world, to live in radical poverty, and began to dedicate himself to the itinerant apostolate. Francis arrived here at the beginning of the 13th century. The humble and lonely little church, dedicated to the Assumption of Our Lady, was surrounded by a forest of oaks and was in a state of almost total abandonment. There, in prayer, Francis heard the voice of Christ who told me, "Repair my church." He began to physically repair the little church until the third time he heard the voice, "Francis, repair my church." He realized in the depths of his heart that the church that Christ wanted to repair was that of the faithful, and so he began to preach the gospel with strength and enthusiasm. It was the year 1208. In the Porciuncula, St. Francis received his first followers and founded the Order of Friars Minors. On the night of Palm Sunday in 1211, St. Francis welcomed Clare of Assisi, who cut her hair for the first time, trampling on the pomp of the world, set out to follow Christ. St. Francis consecrated it to the Lord. St. Clare also founded the order of the Poor Ladies, the Poor Clares. There she held the first general meetings of the friars and sent his followers as missionaries of peace to men throughout the earth. Francis made the Porciuncula a point of reference for his entire life and for the life of the Franciscan fraternity. It is the most sacred and venerable place of the Franciscanism, the stone cradle of the friar minors, where he began humbly, continued virtuously, and happily concluded his spiritual journey. It is interesting to know that Francis got the Porciuncula as a gift from the Benedictine monks of Monte Subasio, on condition that he made it the center and mother house of his religious family. And since then, this little church, St. Mary of the Angels, has never been abandoned by the friars. In Venezuela, in the Diocese of El Tigre, in the southeastern part of the state Anzoátegui, Our Lady of the Angels is celebrated every year. Pope John XXIII said, "In Assisi, there is a representation of the angels who are in the presence of the Holy Trinity and form a crown around the Mother of God, the Queen of Angels, who from here shows the way to paradise, the way to God, and with God we always win."